Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another Planty video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are doing so well. Today we are going to be doing a favorites video. This was meant to be my July favorites, but obviously we are well into August now. However, I still really wanted to film this and post this because I'm so excited to share these plants with you and give you some updates on them. A lot of my plants have been doing so well lately and growing like crazy, so a favorites video is just necessary, okay? So without further ado, let's hop into it. I have some of the plants around me right now. I guess I'm just gonna grab them at random and talk about them. Okay, so the first plant that I'll share is this guy right here. This is my Ficus shivereana, this beautiful variegated Ficus Elastica variety. It is so stunning, and this has been doing amazingly for me, you guys. I always struggle with Ficus. Literally every Ficus I've ever had, I've had difficulties with, so I'm just so thrilled that this one is growing so well for me. It's looking amazing. I recently repotted this, I believe in a Patreon video. It's now in a tree fern fiber potting mix. It has tree fern fiber, orchid bark, and perlite, I believe. And I also added some Osmocote slow release fertilizer, and it's potted in this beautiful ceramic planter by Solarium. And yeah, it's honestly just loving life. This lives in a south-facing window. I find that Ficus Elastica, basically all the varieties, require really high light. So this one's no different, especially because it's so variegated too. High light and a lot of water, I find, are the keys to grow this plant well. And also, I do find that they can be prone to spider mites. I haven't had that issue with this one yet, thankfully, but I do keep my eye out for that just because it's a problem I've had with Ficus Elastica in the past. But yeah, I can't believe how well this is doing. It's sizing up so much. This was just a tiny little plant when I first got it. This is from Plant Haven, Toronto. These are popping up a lot lately, which is really nice to see because I'm just excited to see more people growing it since I love it so much. I think the variegation is so stunning. I love the minty kind of look. I love how the variegation is different on each leaf. And yeah, it's truly just a joy to grow. I really recommend it. Mine's working on a new leaf right now even. Like, how exciting is that? Yeah, I've really truly been just enjoying this plant so much. I also love the way new ficus leaves come in. Like, watching them is just, they're so cute. So yeah, this is the first one, Ficus shivereana. I am a very big fan. Okay, next, I do have some bigger plants to show, so hopefully I'm far away enough from the camera. But the next one is my Alocasia Jacqueline or Tanderusa, which I have right here. And yeah, she's sizing up a lot, you guys. Like, it's kind of crazy, this new leaf that she's put out. It is massive, and I was not expecting this. And something that I've noticed just from watching other people's videos and observing and hearing other people's experiences with growing this plant, I find that this is an alocasia that does size up really quickly. This has only given me, like, it's not a fast grower, so it's only given me just a small handful of new leaves, maybe like 4 leaves in total since I've had it, but the amount that they've sized up has just been like insane. Like, this leaf is so satisfying. Oh my goodness, I can't even tell you. I've just been staring at it. The new ones come in with a beautiful, like, shiny sheen too, and then they have the texture. They're like hairy and textured, and it's just such a unique plant. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite alocasia right now. These can get really big, which is super cool. I do need to repot mine. It's still just in its original nursery pot. I have had problems with spider mites. I wouldn't say problems. It's had spider mites once, which is why I have my beneficial mites on it right now, just to make sure that that's not going to be an ongoing problem. But yeah, this leaf came out probably a few weeks ago, and I've just been obsessed with it. And then these two are older leaves. I did lose a leaf or two, just some of the smaller ones that it had in the move, but it's been hanging on to these ones really well. Like I said, I need to repot it. I'm really curious if there's going to be any corms in here. Again, I have the Osmocote slow release fertilizer, and yeah, I try not to fall behind on watering because it will droop and be unhappy when you underwater. So I try to keep a pretty close eye on it, but yeah, it's just, oh my goodness, I love this plant so much. Even the stems are pretty, like, it's just such a unique and gorgeous plant. Very, very cool alocasia, and I can't believe how big the leaves are already getting. Okay, next let's hop to a little plant. This one I'm so excited to share about because I've just been in love with this lately. So this is my Pinguicula mornensis. I'll try to give you a closer look. It's sun-stressed pink, and it's just so pretty. I love the way this ping looks. It's been so easy to grow. It looks so healthy and happy, and the reason that it's my favorite and that I've been appreciating it so much in the month of July is because it's given me my first ever Pinguicula bloom. How pretty is that? I'm in love with this. Like, the color, oh my goodness, it's hard to focus. The color is stunning. It's just the cutest little thing. Like, it's just like it's so cute. Oh my goodness, I just love it. I really want to get more into Pinguicula, collect a few more varieties. I actually did recently get a few more varieties that are kind of recuperating right now, so I'll share those with you in another video. But yeah, I'm such a big fan of Pinguicula. I think that they're so cool and just adorable. I love the blooms. This is just like, yeah, just an adorable plant overall. I was just so completely thrilled to finally get a flower. I've had this for the past year, and it's done really well for me, but I was really wondering when I was going to get a bloom from it. So July was the month that happened, which I was just obviously so excited about. And I'm really impressed with how long this bloom has been lasting too. It's been opened for a week now, and it doesn't show any signs of dying off. So yeah, I'm really excited that it decided to hang on for when I got a chance to sit down and film this video, because I really wanted to share the bloom with you because it's just so cute. I also posted on my Instagram, so you may have seen it there. I also just wanted to talk a little bit about how I grow Pinguicula because I have been getting some questions recently. So the way that I've been growing this one and how I've been growing my other ones also, I don't have a lot of experience with Pinguicula. I've only had this one for a year, and I've only had the other ones for a couple of months, but what's working really well for me is just potting them in sphagnum moss. So this is just sphagnum moss, and then I have a water reservoir which I keep filled up so that the moss stays moist at all times. And this one has been really happy with that. I can't speak for all Pinguicula varieties, and I know some of them have a succulent phase in the winter time, but this one, I've grown it like this all year round. In the winter, I'm not as worried about keeping the water completely topped up. It does get a little bit drier in the winter time, but throughout the summer, I'm really trying to keep it topped up so that it doesn't dry out too much. Oh, and I just use plain tap water. Depending on where you live, you may have to use distilled water. I have really good water quality where I am, so I don't really have to worry about that, but yeah, just plain water in here. Anyways, I'm hoping to learn more about Pinguicula and maybe experiment with some different ways of growing them in the future, but for now, that's what's worked really well for me. Okay, next, I'll talk about this guy right here since he's kind of taking up some of the camera space already anyways. So this is my Anthurium magnificum dark mama hybrid, and this is one of the seedlings that I grew. Like, I got seeds at the end of 2021, and I grew this Anthurium from that. So it's been almost 2 years that I've been growing this now, and this is what it's looking like, and it's just starting to look so good. And it's even cooler knowing that I grew it from seed, and I've just been able to witness the whole journey of it growing. I've just been extra in love with this one lately. It's so gorgeous, it's so easygoing, and yeah, just like, how cool is this? It's really neat to see some of my Anthurium starting to actually get big leaves, because I've never really had that before. I mean, my Forgetii had big leaves, but they would always just crisp up and it ended up not looking very good. So to see some of my other Anthurium get big leaves that actually look nice is just so rewarding. So yeah, I love this one a lot. I think it's so cool, and it's also just sentimental to me since it's my first Anthurium that I grew from seed, and it was honestly just a little experiment I wanted to try, and I didn't really expect for them to even grow, but they did. And yeah, here we are. I've given away the other two. I had 3. I've given away the other 2. This is the only one that I've kept for myself just because, I don't know, I just didn't really have the capacity to keep all 3 of them. So this one is mine, and it's actually living in semi-hydro. It's living in the Crystal Star soilless mix, so it's like their version of pond essentially. It's been so happy in that, and it's actually making me want to experiment with this mix with some of my other Anthurium as well. I do need to repot this soon also, and of course, as you can see, I have some sphagnum moss on the top just to maintain some of that moisture a little bit longer. I'll see if I can pull this out and show you all the roots. I think it needs water too. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I need to repot this. It's just like crazy. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? These big chunky roots. Oh yeah, this really needs to be repotted, but it's still doing so well considering how like root bound this is. Honestly, you can see a lot of the roots have been growing up in the sphagnum moss too. Wow, chonky roots. Looking amazing though. It's still a little bit moist, but I am gonna water this after I'm done filming. Anyways, yeah, just love this Anthurium. I'm actually gonna be taking it out of the cabinet too. It's been living in cabinet. Well, it's been in and out kind of, but I did put it in the cabinet. I saw this leaf coming in and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna spoil it with cabinet conditions because I had the space for it in there. But now that the new leaf is out, it's kind of, I mean, I could keep it in until the next leaf starts emerging, but I kind of want to acclimate it back to room humidity so that I don't have to take it out as the next new leaf is emerging or like hardening off, you know? So that's probably going to be the plan, to keep it out now. It's been out for a few days and it seems to be doing well. So as long as I keep it well watered, I'm not too worried. But yeah, I was so excited to show you guys this one because I just think, I don't know, it's just doing so well and I'm really proud of it. I guess I'm gonna have to move it because it's gonna be taking up. Well, I'll leave it here for a second while I talk about the next one, and then I have to go get a new batch of plants to share with you. But this is the next one that I wanted to show you. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be hard to show actually. I think I'm gonna have to stand up and get behind the camera. Okay, so this guy is one of my Epipremnum no IDs. I have 2 Epipremnum that are no IDs, don't have an official ID for them, and this is the one that's a little bit bigger. And oh my goodness, you guys, it has just taken off lately. Like, I feel like it kind of took a while to get established after I repotted it, and I honestly wasn't looking too happy for a while. But over the past month or 2, it's just completely turned around. It's so happy, it's growing so quickly. And the reason that I'm especially in love with it recently is that I got fenestrations on it. These are the first fenestrations to come in on this plant. There's so many little tiny ones, if you can see those. But oh my goodness, like how cool is that? Even before this leaf with the fenestrations came out, it had already been on my radar of just like plants I'm obsessed with lately because of this leaf. Look how big it is. Like, this plant is giving me massive leaves. Like, how cool is that? Oh my goodness. I recently extended the pole in a video that's going to be coming out probably this week. Honestly, I'm not sure when it'll be coming out. I'm finished filming it, but I feel like it's going to take a while to edit. Anyways, regardless, this plant is just, oh my goodness, it's so cool. It's getting so big. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm in love with Epipremnum right now. All the varieties I have are just doing so well. They're so fun to grow, especially climbing. It's just, yeah, it's so rewarding. They're just so interesting to watch. I love the way that the stems kind of like flatten against here too. Like, it just looks so satisfying. This plant is just, yeah, I'm a really big fan. They put out a ton of roots along the stem and grow into here. And yeah, it's just so cool. I have a lot of people try to guess what the ID for this is. I've had people say Baltic blue and other things, and it just doesn't look like a Baltic blue to me. The color is very similar to Cebu blue. I find that Baltic blue is a lot darker, and just like the shape of the leaves is different. This is definitely a unique plant that I just haven't really seen anything else like it before. I did have somebody suggest once that it could be a Cebu blue Thai form. So maybe that's the case if there's like different forms of Cebu blue. But yeah, I'm just, whatever it is, I'm so happy to be growing it. I'm so excited to see more fenestrations come in. And yeah, just like what a cool plant. I love it. And also this one is currently transitioning out of living in the Millsbow Wide as well. I don't have any concerns, you know, I think it's gonna adapt just fine. Same thing, I'm just gonna keep it well watered and yeah, I don't think we'll have any problems. Okay, we're gonna be standing now because I have a couple of larger plants to show you. And the next one is going to be this beauty right here, which I cannot believe how massive this thing is getting. This is my Fernleaf Cactus, which started off as honestly a kind of reasonably sized plant. Like I think that these were the leaves that it came with, maybe even this one. Like it had some pretty decent sized leaves. The past year that I've had this, it hasn't really done a ton. I think that I never really had it in the conditions that it would really like to be in until recently, over the past couple of months. And I think that that's why I've gone from getting leaves like this size to getting leaves that are this size. Like honestly, almost too big to show on camera. They're just massive and I cannot get over it, especially this one. Like honestly, I cannot get over this. It doesn't even look real. Like it's so long. I didn't even know Fernleaf Cactus could get this big, and now I'm sure that they can get even a lot bigger than this, but to me, I'm shocked that I have a leaf this massive on this plant. It's just so crazy. I feel like it totally came out of left field. Obviously, this plant is just thriving here at the new house. It lives hanging in front of the south-facing window, but it's high enough that it doesn't get direct sun. So it gets a lot of light, but it doesn't get like scorched by direct sun, and it just seems to love that. I think that the warm temperatures in my house are really playing a part as well because yeah, it's just obviously loving life, giving me this huge growth. So I'm really curious to see what other leaves I'm gonna get on this. I see that there's a new something starting out here. These are really interesting, all jungle cactus really. The way that they start out their new growth just so tiny and then it just keeps expanding and expanding. And I think that that's why I was so surprised by this, because I just felt like it was gonna stay a lot smaller and then just suddenly it became this massive leaf here. So yeah, just such a cool plant. I love jungle cactus in general. And yeah, I'm so glad that I have this. I've had it for I think coming up to a year now. And it was a wish list plant for me. I got it in a trade and I'm just so thankful to have it now. I think it has such a unique shape and it's just so cool. Somebody also messaged me saying, wait until you see it bloom. And I would honestly probably croak if this bloomed for me. I don't even know what the blooms look like. I've never seen one bloom before. So if that happened, that would just be incredible. But for now, I'm just so satisfied with the massive foliage I've been getting. So yeah, love this one so much, my Fernleaf Cactus. And then next on my list is a plant that has really been impressing me because it struggled for so long and I kind of, it didn't meet my expectations, so I kind of lowered my expectations for it, but now it is meeting those expectations and I'm very impressed by it. And that is my Aglaonema Manila's Pride, or Aglaonema commutatum variegata, or like the variegated Aglaonema commutatum. So if you're not familiar, I got this plant in December and it rotted on me, and then it took a long time to reroot, and then it took a long time to push out a leaf once it finally did root. You can see it's still in perlite because that's what I ended up trying to root it in. Water was not working out for me, so I moved it to perlite and that's what finally worked. So I was already having a really hard time with it, and it also just wasn't really a specimen that had high variegation. It had this leaf with like a little patch, and then it had this leaf with some variegation that like wasn't really white, it was just kind of minty. I decided to get it anyways because they're just really hard to find and I just was gonna take my chances. But then within the last couple of months, it has pushed out this incredible leaf, which is, in my opinion, perfect. I love this. This is exactly what I was hoping for from this plant. I just think it's so beautiful. We have this kind of layered variegation here, giving that minty look, and then this patch of white sectoral variegation, and it's a big, healthy looking leaf. I think that it looks so good. I'm so happy with it. I could not believe it when this leaf came out. I just feel like I got so lucky with it. So this is really what drew my attention back to this plant and had me just falling in love with it again. It's just, oh my goodness, yeah, it's so perfect. So love that. That got me really excited. And then it put out another leaf, which was this one. And as you can see, there's no variegation on this one. It just looks like a regular Aglaonema commutatum leaf, which is fine. Honestly, I think that this Aglaonema is still beautiful even without any variegation. So I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen. We do have a new leaf on the way, and I can see some, what looks like variegation coming in down here, but it doesn't look like there's any like large sectoral variegation or anything like that I can see yet. We have to wait until the leaf fully comes out, obviously, but anyways, it'll be really fun to see what that looks like, and I'm just so excited for the potential of this plant again. And I also have a second one that I kind of wanted to lump in together with the other one, because this is also a favorite just because I've been so in love with this variety of Aglaonema lately. Yeah, I'm so impressed. This specimen is absolutely gorgeous. The variegation on this, oh my goodness, I just love it. And it's giving me tons of new leaves. Like there's 3 new leaves coming in on this right now. And this one looks like it's gonna be a half moon leaf. So how beautiful is that? Oh, I can't wait until it finishes unfurling. It's gonna be so pretty. This one also I can see has variegation on it. This is a really highly variegated specimen, so it's kind of fun to have the two of them and kind of compare and contrast what they're looking like. They look quite different actually, even just in color. Obviously different growing conditions, because this one, most of the leaves were not grown in my care, whereas this one, most of the big ones now were. So yeah, I'm excited to pot these two together eventually, probably soon actually, because like I said, this is still just in perlite, so I'm going to be combining them and then have a nice big beautiful one. But yeah, this is just like, oh my goodness. And I'm honestly kind of getting into Aglaonema now and wanting to pick up maybe another one, because I recently got the Silver Bay, which is another stunning Aglaonema, and like, they're just so pretty. Like, oh my goodness, why don't more people talk about Aglaonemas? I would like to know. Oh my goodness, look at the newest leaf. Like, are you kidding me? It's just so nice. So nice. Wow, yeah, I just love this. So I only have 2 Aglaonema, but I'm just in love with both of the varieties that I have. So I'd like to maybe get one more. Ooh, there's that, that ghost one. It's called, oh, I think something ghost. And it's like a really kind of like gray silver one, and it looks very up my alley. So if I could ever get my hands on that one, I would love that. But for now, I'm obviously just appreciating the ones that I have. So yeah, okay, moving on to the next one. We have 2 plants left. The next one is a big one. It is my Philodendron SP Silver. Now, you've probably seen this recently if you've been following my channel or my Instagram. I recently featured this in my Philodendron collection video. And I also recently posted, oh, I actually think I posted a YouTube short as well on this. So yeah, this is my, or I guess it's called Philodendron El Guapo now. This is probably, well, yeah, this is one of the biggest philodendron, probably the biggest leafed philodendron in my collection that I currently have, especially considering it just put out a new leaf. And look at the size of this. Like, are you kidding me? And it's not even fully hardened off yet. Let me see if I can put this down. It's not even fully hardened off yet. So by the time it is, it might even expand a little bit more, but I honestly cannot believe just the sheer size of this. Now with this plant, the leaves typically come in a little bit more green, and then they kind of fade to have more of that like bluish silver tone. So this one is still very glossy and very green, but oh my goodness, look just like how pillowy, and oh, it's just so beautiful. It honestly looks perfect. And it looked like it was having a little bit of trouble unfurling, like just sticking a little bit. So I kind of thought it wasn't gonna come out looking as nice as it is. So I'm just so impressed with this. Yeah, it's blowing my mind. I don't even know where to put this plant right now because it's so big. I moved it to a different spot to try to get the leaves all facing a certain way, and it kind of backfired on me because these leaves all started facing the correct way that I wanted them to be facing. This one's just kind of crazy here, but these were all facing the way that I wanted them to. But then this new leaf emerged and it started facing backwards because there's kind of a window in front of this and behind, and the other leaves are going towards the one in front, but then this one is just doing its own thing and going towards the windows behind. So I'm gonna have to put this like directly in front of my window so the leaves can all just slowly face, because I'd really like them to kind of all be facing the right way. But anyways, yeah, he's a little bit crazy right now, but I just cannot get over this new leaf and just how magnificent this plant is in general. Like, oh my goodness, there's honestly nothing like it in my collection in terms of I guess just ease of care and leaf size, and just the leaves coming in looking so good every single time. It's just, yeah, it's a really special plant, and that's one of my just top favorites in general, but also one of my favorites of July, especially with this new leaf that has emerged. I can't believe it. As soon as I saw it emerging, I knew it was gonna be massive. Like, yeah, I knew it was gonna be massive. So I can't wait to see what the final result of that is gonna look like. And then we are on to our last plant, so let me go grab it. Okay, so the last one is actually a begonia that's currently living on my begonia trellis outside. So I just had to detach it and bring it in so that I can show you. But it is my Begonia Magdalene Madsen, which is a Begonia listada hybrid. And oh my goodness, you guys, like, to say this plant has been doing well this summer would be an understatement. This plant is doing phenomenally. Like, oh, it is just, I feel like the lighting isn't doing it justice. Here, let me see if we turn this. Like, oh my goodness, just how beautiful and velvety and massive the leaves are getting. Look at that. Like, look at that leaf. Are you kidding me? Look at the shine. Like, it is just so pretty. It's giving out perfect leaf after perfect leaf. I can't believe it. I, for some reason, had the idea that this was going to be a more tricky begonia when I got it. This came to me as a bonus cutting in a trade, and I'm so glad that it did because I've just fallen in love with it. But yeah, I thought it was going to be more tricky. I always grew it in my cabinet, but now I've come to realize that it really isn't. Like, it's a very easygoing begonia. I've grown it both just inside my house in like regular humidity and everything, and outside. And it's loved and thrived in every condition that I've given it. This is also in the Crystal Star soilless mix, so like a pond substitute, and in a self-watering pot, which just works really well for it and makes things really easy for me. But yeah, oh my goodness, I've just been like so happy with this begonia lately. Like, look at the size of it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm in love with it. Oh my goodness, so I just had to show you guys because every time I go out and see this, it blows my mind. It's so beautiful. I'm not sure like what the care is like for the regular Begonia listada, but this hybrid is so easy. So I highly recommend it if you're able to get your hands on one and you're interested in it. And it looks so similar to the listada too, which I know is a really popular one that people like to get. So honestly, I would consider opting for this one if you can find it. But yeah, it's so pretty. I don't have any other begonia like this in my collection with like the kind of velvety leaf like this. So yeah, I'm just so happy to have it, and of course I had to show it off to you. So this is the last one, Begonia Magdalene Madsen. Looking phenomenal. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this favorites video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Keep your eye out for more videos coming soon. I do have a lot of videos filmed or in progress. I'm working on my plant shelves right now. Little sneak peek, can you see? Yeah, a little sneak peek. Yeah, I have a lot of things filmed. I'm just behind on editing, so gonna get through a lot of editing within the next couple of days, get some videos up for y'all this week. Thank you so much for sticking around. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you're subscribed for more planty content, and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. I love reading your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!